Okay, guys, the point here is to get to know Jewell. So we're going to throw some softball questions at him about him and his business. Then we're going to throw some more controversial questions at him, see what he does, see how he responds. Hey everybody, Todd Campbell with Farmers Insurance here. Welcome to Honest Opinions with a Home Lender. We've got Jewell Marsh here with Thrive Mortgage. Jewell, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Jewell Marsh, the millennial mortgage mentor, Thrive Mortgage, certified mortgage advisor. Just help with not only creating homeowners, but successful ones at that, really with an emphasis around building wealth. So it's exciting. A lot of millennials are getting into home buying these days. And so if I can help as many of my sphere as possible with that, then I'd love to do so.
Right on. How important is the lending company the loan officer works for versus the loan officer themselves?
I think that's a good question. I think that both have equal weight. I think that the loan officer is definitely a very important piece of it, as they're going to be the frontline communication with clients and partners. And so you really want to make sure that you like that person, right? However, I do think that the company that they work for and the type of backing that they can provide is also equally important, because you want to make sure that the process is smooth and enjoyable and nothing falls between the cracks. And so it's kind of a good balance of both. But I'm a firm believer in doing business with who you know, like, and trust. So you gotta like the loan officer.
What would you say to someone wanting to get into the real estate market and trying to find their dream home?
That's a good question. So first, I would ask how long they actually plan on living in the house. More often than not, people move far more frequently than they think that they might, and so that dream home today in 5 years may not be the case. So I would definitely give equal weight to kind of that piece of the equation. However, the best tip that I ever learned from an agent about going about that process is figure out where you don't want to live first. You can eliminate everywhere else and then focus on the neighborhoods that you like, and I think that it'll be a lot easier in finding that home that you love.
Great way to look at it. Best pizza in town?
Ooh, that's a good one. So if you want big slice, I love Greenville Pizza Co. That's big, humongous slices. I'm also a big fan of Zalat or Sal's. Those are definitely up there. I'd give all three of those probably equal weight, in my opinion.
Right on. A little bit something different.
Yeah, it depends on the time of day and when we're needing to eat the pizza.
Yeah, like Zalat, 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Does real estate really build wealth? And if so, why is it a better investment option as opposed to anything else out there?
To answer the first part of that, absolutely it builds wealth through something called equity. If you're not familiar, I think that it's actually the easiest way for your everyday American to build wealth in America by doing nothing other than owning the roof over your head. Last time I checked, we're not creating more land. We're only running out of space, and so it kind of adds some support, and it's a tangible asset, which is something that I like. Now, you can certainly invest in a number of different things, but everybody needs a roof over their head, and whether you own a house or not, you're paying a mortgage, so you might as well be paying your own.
Is it better to be rich with few friends or poor with many friends?
Ooh. That is a good question. I'm a social guy. I like friends. I like hanging out with people. I think that rich is it's a relative term depending on who you ask. Money is just a tool to kind of create the lifestyle or create impact or whatever it is that really drives you. But I'm a big fan of people, so I'll always take the people.
Are first-time homebuyer programs good for every first-time homebuyer?
So I think it depends on the time frame. Right now in 2021, interest rates are phenomenally low. So I'm a big fan of trying to get into a property with the least out-of-pocket expense, while of course keeping a monthly payment reasonable. So if you can take advantage of those, I highly suggest it. The difference of making a 5% down payment versus a 3% is really insignificant when it comes to a monthly payment. But that 2%, depending on the price point of home, could go towards eliminating other debt or go towards just peace of mind of having an emergency reserve. So I'm a big fan of taking advantage of them in this time frame, but maybe when interest rates aren't as great, maybe there's some different approaches. Maybe putting a little bit more money down gets you a better rate, saves you money over time. So it really is particular to that individual, because there's a million different ways to do mortgages, and it needs to be tailored to each individual. Is
reality TV harmful to society?
Yes, and I think social media is reality TV these days, right? It's entertaining. I'll give you that much. Like, it definitely can draw you in for a long period of time, but I think if you could take the time that you invest in a reality TV and hone your craft or hone just your own personal development, you'll probably be a little bit better off.
That's good advice. I think that's great advice. Okay, this is a good question. What's more important, the reputability of the loan officer or the rate they're offering?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with reputation. I think that so many people get caught up on rate, and it is an important thing. I mean, we're talking about money over time, but I mean, reputation is going to speak for itself. If they have terrible reviews or someone tells you that they're bad, I would say you probably should believe them unless you incur the same type of punishment that they did. But reputation is huge. It's everything in this business. So you want to make sure that people have great things to say about you.
Do you think it's harder for millennial buyers to enter the real estate market today as compared to 20 years ago?
I actually don't. I think that there's a lot of programs out there that really cater to millennials. There's a lot of misinformation out there in terms of what it really takes to buy a house. There's the 20% myth that all of our parents teach us, the rising cost of housing, but in an environment where interest rates are extremely low, especially here in the Texas area, Dallas to be specific, there's a lot of successful young professionals that are out there making plenty of money. I think student loans is another thing that people really are afraid of when taking on something as large as a mortgage, but there are ways to get around that. We're not looking at the overall debt per se. It's monthly expenses and then figuring out something that works for you in that regard. So I think that as long as you work with somebody that actually understands where you're looking to go and what is right for your situation, it is easier than ever to get into a house.
Jewell, why are you as a home lender the best choice for someone who's looking to purchase a home or refinance right now?
Well, glad that you asked, Todd. Honestly, I think that I just care more. I think that in growing up, I am a millennial. I watched what happened in the housing crisis of 2008. I saw how not only America at scale was affected, but I mean, these are family members and friends and kind of the just disaster that followed as a result of that. And I never really planned on getting in the mortgage industry. That wasn't what I set out to do, but now that I'm here, I realize a tremendous opportunity to change the dynamic. I think that a mortgage lender is the most important person, can be the most important person in someone's financial life. And so I really take the time to not only make sure that we're setting you up for success today in this home purchase, but it's about a lot more than that 30-day transaction. It's about how do I help you over time actually eliminate all of your debt, build wealth through smart financial decisions with the spirit of retiring early. I think that especially with millennials, we don't really think about that too much. And if you were to ask someone, they're gonna throw a number like 62 or 65 or 70. But what they don't understand is by setting a good foundation and roadmap today, we can actually cut 10, 15, 20 years off that time frame. And that is what I focus on doing. So if you are someone that is looking to retire early and become a little bit more savvy with home ownership and real estate, I think that I'm the guy for you.
Jewell, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. It was awesome getting to know you. I know the folks will probably have lots of questions for you about everything we talked about today. You guys be sure and like this video, comment down below. Give us your feedback on what Jewell had to say today. I think we've touched on some really important topics and that affect us all today.
Yeah, thank you very much.